Okay guys, so I've got a really cool tool review for you guys today. This is a 3-ton floor jack with a triple airbag system. Now, I've never really played with one of these before, so I'm really pretty interested in doing this. It's a really cool looking tool and it seems to be pretty well built. I want to thank the good folks over at VEVOR for sending this out for me to test and review for you guys. So there will be a link in the description. And so if it looks like something you're interested in, feel free to give that a look and see if it's something that you might want to pick up. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so basically from the time I ordered this product to the time it landed at my doorstep was just a couple of days. So it shipped really fast with no hassle, and that was great. It showed up really well packaged. It had a nice styrofoam lining, and as I took it out and pulled everything out of the box, I saw no damage of any kind. It turned out all the pieces looked really good. It has a nice paint job on it, and didn't see anything that was missing or out of the ordinary. So that was great. It did come with a fairly nice set of instructions for use and a safety guide. It has a couple of specifics in there, how it wants you to use it, and at least a good picture of how it's supposed to look assembled. There's not a lot to it. As far as putting it together goes, it's fairly easy to assemble. All you basically have to do is bolt the two extensions of handles together and then attach that handle to the base, and then custom fit and attach your airline hose to the fitting provided at the nozzles, and you're basically ready to go. Fully assembled, this unit looks really good. It is looks well made. It's solid, it's sturdy, there's no loose and rattly parts. It has a nice paint job on it. It's easy to handle and move around, and it is a pretty nice looking tool. So let's get started. Okay, so now that we've got this all put together and ready to go, I just want to kind of give it a bench test for you. And as I said, it went together really easy. I'm super happy with how it looks and the way it went together. So a couple things I want to touch on. First of all, it came with the correct air nipple on it, which was a super nice surprise. And there's several different kinds, and then they would have to guess as to what you need or want. And this one fits my air compressor, so I didn't have to change that out. That was really cool. Nice little surprise. The other thing I would like to touch on are these little bars right here. When I saw the picture of this online, I thought, oh, how cool. They've given me supports to stand it up. So I want to be able to conveniently stand it up against the wall out of the way when I'm not using it. Oh, that's super cool. Great idea. And then I tested it out and realized, well, that doesn't happen. That doesn't work. It's top heavy and these things aren't long enough. And I thought, oh man, they really missed the mark on that design. Huh. And I was a little disappointed. And then a light bulb went off and I realized if that was to work, these would need to be longer. And then they would get in the way of this thing getting under your car. And then I realized, oh, okay, great. These things are just the right height as the top of this to kind of let you know if you're going to clear what you're trying to get into or not. And also to protect the rubber airbags. So if you try to go into something that you're not going to clear, you might jam this upper bag into something sharp on your frame or something that you're trying to get under, and that would damage it. So these give you a height requirement, and also whatever you're running into that's too tall or too short for your application, you're going to hit the bars and protect the bag. So honestly, I'm a little disappointed that I can't stand it up, but that really wasn't the purpose of it, I believe. Genius safety implementation here. Love that. I'd much rather have this protecting the equipment than to be able to store it. If I really want to store it standing up, I can get something on the wall that's a strap or something to hold it steady, and I can store it on the wall if I really want to, but really not a big deal. The main thing about this is look how light it is. I'm an old guy and I'm not real strong, and this has got to be 30 or so pounds is all. This is like the 3-ton variety, which is their small one. And so there are bigger ones, and I'm sure they're heavier and they can lift more, but this being kind of the weekend warrior, passenger car, one tire at a time kind of tool, super convenient. It's super lightweight. It rolls around and moves just super nice. So far, super impressed. I really like it. So what I want to do now is I want to get you guys a bench test. I'll hook a little air to it and we will get it to go up and go down. Let me get the air. just like that. Now, with a tool like this, I always suggest using your safety glasses. You never know what's going to go wrong. You could have a bladder pop on you, the safety valve could pop out. It might do no more than just scare you real bad, but you just don't want to be in a position to have something go wrong and have it pop your eyes. You don't want to be under a car or at the car, have this thing lifted up, trying to put jack stands in and keep you safe, and then have it pop right next to your head. And I suggest always wearing safety glasses on it. So all we got to do, we have air hooked up. I've got it at 90 pounds. It runs at 140, but I kind of really don't think just lifting a passenger car one tire at a time that you're going to need 140. I'm guessing at this point, but let's give it a shot. All I got to do is open up the air valve. Hopefully you guys can see that, and it should jump up. Once it's done, you turn it off. It's good to go. And I think I got about 10 inches. I think it says it goes from 5 to 15 inches. You want to change a tire, that is more than enough on as long as the car isn't too tall. And if it is, you could put a block on it or raise it up from the ground or something along these lines. But for most passenger cars, this is going to take care of you for sure. So it is pretty nice and sturdy. Has a little bit of wobble, which is built in for design, I'm sure. It looks good enough to me. I'm pretty impressed with it. And so let's go ahead and bring it down. All I got to do is open up the relief valve, and she'll start coming down. Probably won't come down super fast because there's not any load on it. I could push on it, get it to come down a little quicker. All the way down. And she's done. Close it back up. She's good to go. So, hey man, right out of the box, there's no maintenance. You don't have to do anything with it. It's super convenient. You just grab it, you hook air to it, you put it where you need it, you get it to go. You could use this on a variety of projects and jobs. I've got a deck that's got a rotting post on the corner. I could stick this under there and jack it up, pull my post, bring it back down to exact level, repair it, replace it. Bada bing, bada boom, you're out of there, good to go. I've got a car with a flat tire that's sitting on a gravel driveway, a flat gravel driveway. With this base, the solid flat base, a floor jack would just be a hydraulic floor jack would be a hassle. This thing would slip right under there on gravel, on dirt, and lift the car up and have to change a tire. So lots of uses, super versatile, super handy, super convenient, and really a price point you can't beat. For what it does for you, this is a really, really good value. So anyway, none of that matters if it won't lift up the front end of a car or get a tire off the ground. So let's get it over to one of my vehicles and we'll give it a proper load test. All right, so I've got this jack hooked up under my 1974 Corvette with a big block. And this is be a pretty good test for this because it's not a terribly light front end of a car. It's got a pretty large engine in the front and most of the weight's up front on this thing. This is about, I believe, a 3,800 pound car, give or take. And most of the weight's up front, split in half or so. It's probably 1,000 or 1,200 pounds, I'm guessing, that I'm lifting here. So it's a decent test. If you've got a small Kia or a Honda or something that you're doing, this is definitely going to be heavier than that as far as changing a tire. They are very specific in the instructions that they want this to be used on the skirt of the car. Translated, don't go underneath and try to get it underneath a yoke or a framing member underneath kind of situation. There are bigger jacks, maybe they're more applicable, but this one here, this is a tire changer tool basically. So just keep that in mind for what it's for. At the price point, this is what you're getting is just to stay on the outside of the car, safety first kind of situation. So, but hey, if it lifts up the car and it goes back down and there's no problems, then that'll be a success. So all I got to do, get it in place. It was super, super easy to do, super lightweight and rolls. I just grabbed the handle as of before and we'll see how it goes. I have it at 90 pounds. It goes to 140 as rating, but again, I don't think I'll need that. We'll see. Here we go. Beautiful. It actually is trying to lift up the back end as well because of the rigid frame. I imagine if I move this down the frame about 1.5 feet, I could get the entire side lifted up. But for the purposes of this one here, the intention here is to be able to access this wheel, get this taken off, service it, do the brakes, get it, whatever. Again, like any jack, never go underneath the car with it like this. This is not a life safety device. Get jack stands under there, get wheel ramps, get something under here to get you safe. This is just a lift assist tool, that's all it's for. But I mean, it lifted it with no problem. I could go higher a little bit. It's going a little slow, but that's because I don't have the air all the way up. If I went up to 140 pounds like it asked for, it probably would just lift that thing straight up in the air, no problem. But hey, next to doing this with the heavy jack and going through, if you have a car parked right next to you, you know, you got a lack of space, hey, this is really cool. That lifted it right up with no problem. I can now do what I need to do. Lowering it, we'll just take the air out nice and slow. That's opened up all the way. Not bad. That's pretty cool, honestly. Pretty cool. We'll let that go down all the way. It's clear. Slowly hits to the bottom. I close off the valve, disconnect, pull it out. Success. Okay, so my final thoughts on this tool. Is it worth buying? Absolutely. This is a knock out of the park. It's easy, it's versatile, it's inexpensive, has a great price point. It's neat looking, it's fun to use, it's lightweight, it gets the job done. It's just, it checks all the boxes. It is not very often I find a tool that I can look at or review or buy that does check all the boxes. So this is a knockout of the park. I really, really am impressed with this for what it's for. And if you work with it within its limitations and the design and in the capacities it is made for, and you don't try to run a semi-trucking, you know, business with it or something along these lines, you're going to be super happy with it. I'm sure of that. So I think it would also make a really good gift. I know I would like to receive it as a gift. Anybody who needs another helping hand in the garage, this is right there for you. So there will be a link in the description. I suggest, definitely highly suggest checking it out. See if it might work out for you guys. So I think that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.